We are going to take a look at my new Rubicon 392, and I'm going to let you guys know if one of these are actually worth purchasing. Let's get right into it. Powering this is a 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy, you can expect to average about 15-16 miles per gallon once your engine is broken in. And then when it comes to power outputs, 470 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. And I will say the Hydro Guide is one of the coolest features on this thing. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now I've got a cool decal here on the hood, 392 badges, and then you can see the entrance to the Hydro Guide. Being a fully loaded Wrangler, you've got the upgraded LED turn signals and then the upgraded headlights as well. Now you can get a completely blacked out grille, but I like this version that has the outside portion painted. And then this comes standard with the steel bumper. You also have the winch, which is standard too. So right out of the box, this has tons of off-road options and it looks very distinctive for a Wrangler. From the factory, we've got 35-inch tall tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels. Well, actually they're 34.4. It's a 315 by 70 by 17, but they call them 35s. This also has the Extreme Recon as standard, so it is lifted compared to a regular Wrangler, which means you get little fender flare extensions with that Extreme Recon, and then you've got the nice paint to match fender flares. 392 Final Edition decal here on the side, and then you got bronze for the trail rated badge. Now, I haven't seen these rock rails on any other Wrangler, so it seems like they're specific for this. And this one is finished in 41, or rather, mine is finished in 41, which gives it a more military type appearance. I do think it would have been cool if they had given it a more custom key fob, especially since it's the Final Edition, but this is still pretty cool for a vehicle. Something that's kind of underrated in my opinion is the keyless entry for the rear hatch. I think that's actually a really nice feature. And the swing gate with the 35, very light. You get a Final Edition plaque here on the back, which is another cool element. And I should probably take these accessories out of the back. But anyways, you actually have quite a bit of cargo space. Jeep also gives you a 12 volts, and then they paint the cage here, and behind this bag, it's got the Alpine sound system. Now this does come with the upgraded taillights, and then you've got the full-size spare with the reinforced tire carrier. Now I do plan on modifying my 392, but I will say out of the box, this thing looks very cool and it is very capable. Let's check out the interior. This also comes with the upgraded door panel, so you got soft touch up top, bronze stitching down below. More nice soft touch on the seats with more of that bronze stitching. Plenty of legroom here in the back. The back passengers also get some vents, window controls in the center, and there's even an outlet there at the bottom with some USB ports. Of course, keyless entry up front, and let's pop in. More nice soft touch on the door panel, and then this does have blind spot monitoring. Now stock, this has 850 pounds of payload capacity. I am changing out the springs with a kit from AEV, which will improve stuff. And then we've got the nice Rubicon seats here, power adjustable for the driver and the passenger. And this right here is why the 392 is epic. Such a nice startup. This does also have its own custom steering wheel with paddle shifters there on the back, a nice perforated leather trim. You also get all of the upgraded tech with the steering wheel, so your adaptive cruise control, radio controls on the back, controls for the center stack on the left-hand side. The upgraded gauge cluster that lets you know what's happening on the driveline side of things. They're off to the side, and then the center screen you can change what's displayed there information-wise. This has the front and rear camera setup. No 360 still, but it's not needed. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the new infotainment system. I preferred the previous unit in terms of the integration, but this does respond relatively quickly. We've got analog controls for the radio down below, dual zone climate controls, as well as heated seats and heated steering wheel, and then there's a little button to open and close the exhaust valves. More USB ports, and I like how they include USB-C and A, which is just nice to have the utility there, and then the window controls in the center is also cool. 4 auxiliary switches to add items to it, and then we of course have the sway bar disconnect, and then our front and rear diff locks, as well as the off-road plus, which is your off-road driving mode. And another Final Edition touch is the 392 Final Edition logo there on the shifter. And then this does have a full-time 4-wheel drive system. You do have a 2-speed transfer case with that. Nice trim here on the center console. I like Jeep's whole layout here. The storage is good. It's got a USB port inside too, and then you still have the grab handle there on the dash, which is nice. And of course we've got the top insulation to cap things off. Now the Final Edition is not cheap whatsoever, so total MSRP is $102,585, which, yeah, that's a lot, but you can wheel and deal on these. So $102,000, you don't have to pay that. Anyways, let's take it out and drive it. Let me tell you folks, we are back. We are so back. I am so excited to finally, well not finally, But to have a cool car on the channel, like a really cool car, don't get me wrong, the 250 Land Cruiser and the Grenadier are cool cars, but this is really cool. Selling my 2022 392, biggest mistake I've ever made. I corrected that mistake by buying another one. And obviously it's more expensive than the first 392 because just sticker price wise, this is 102. My first 392 sticker price was like 82. So yeah, final edition tax, right? But you know, there are some extra stuff this has that mine didn't. Like, for example, the power seats and the winch, definitely not worth $20,000 extra. Man, it is windy today. My goodness, that is crazy. But yeah, I should have never sold it. I should have never sold it, but can't go back. Can only go forward, and we did. So this final edition, right, they're obviously, you know, charging quite a bit to get the last. So if you don't want to pay the final edition tax, just get a pre-owned one. The only reason why I didn't get a pre-owned one personally, as stupid as it sounds, is the color. So there were two colors that I really, well, there's three colors on the Jeep Wrangler that I like. One of them is on a used 392 and I considered it, and that is the purple they did for 2023. But you know, I already had a Tuscadero pink 392, and so I'm like, purple's really cool, but I've kind of already been there, done that with a kind of more girly color. So I decided I want to do something different. So I was stuck between this color 41 and then I can't remember the green for some reason, but the super bright green. Dealership had both of them. I had them park them next to each other so I could just sit there and look at them, and the dealership kept telling me to get this color. My wife kept telling me to get 41 and I was like, but the green, especially with satin PPF, that green would look really cool. But I ended up going with this. I think it just fits the 392 theme better. And I will say, I have a Heritage Edition Land Cruiser, which is, you know, special edition, didn't make that many of them. And I kind of went, you know what, if I'm going to go down the road of buying another 392, if this is gonna be the last new vehicle I buy for a very long time, then I think I'm willing to spend a little bit more rather than getting a used one and get the special edition. And I looked on the market for used final editions and they weren't really like cheap. They're still going for, and I'm sure the trade-in value is less, but you know what the dealers are asking for them is still quite a bit of money. So it's like I might as well just get a brand new one with full warranty, no miles on it. So this is a super cool vehicle. I've had so many like conversations with people over the years. Everyone thinks this is cool, but a lot of people say it's unnecessary. I think that V8s in vehicles like this just makes so much sense, because with huge tires, your fuel economy with any engine is going to be bad, so you might as well have a good sound and lots of power. My previous 392, I averaged 16 miles per gallon. This is the same car, so I'm sure I'll average 16 miles per gallon. If you have 35s or 37s on a 2.0 turbo or V6 Wrangler, you're going to get about the same with fuel economy, maybe even less. My friend's 2.0 turbo at one point was getting 12 miles per gallon. So with these big boxy SUVs and big tires, this just makes sense, and it's so smooth. Like it has so much low end torque that you just kind of feather, and I don't like this. I'm gonna turn around. You guys are gonna think I'm super lame for this, but I know where that irrigation water comes from, and I don't want it on my brand new vehicle because it will be impossible to get it off. I'm okay with the dust. The irrigation water though, no. So anyways, it's just, you guys can see it's super smooth, and off-road it's smooth, and highway acceleration, like this V8 is fantastic. I missed it so much, and big displacement V8s are going away, and so I just wanted to have another one because I really did miss having, I think this one's yeah, this one goes through. I just missed it. I missed the power delivery. Like, I had so many people in my Grenadier video tell me that, no, the turbo engines are powerful enough and this and that. It's like, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Like, once you've driven a vehicle with a big displacement, naturally aspirated, powerful V8 like this, you just can't go back. So don't drive one of these if you want to just make every single turbocharged modern car feel like junk, because that's really what it comes down to. It's the sound, it's the smooth power delivery, And it's also, like I said, it's just the cool factor. This thing is so cool. Like, just look how smooth this is. And the transmission, snappy. Absolutely love it. So let me guys think about the 392 Final Edition. I think that if you're like a V8 connoisseur like myself and a Wrangler person, it's a premium, but you know, you can get some discounts on these, and I think the premium's worth it if you're gonna keep it for a long time. If you're just wanting to like rally one of these and have fun with it for a few years, just go buy a used one. There's plenty of, between 2021 and 2025 on the used market, and you can get a pretty good deal on them. You might have to do a little bit of looking if you're color specific, but yeah, there's plenty of them out there in the, I see them anywhere from like $60,000 to $80,000 depending on miles. Not cheap by any means, but this engine's pretty reliable, and so it's a car that would, as long as you maintenance it properly and drive it regularly. And when I say drive it regularly, like you gotta drive it at least once a week, a couple times a week would be better. It'll treat you well. Let me know your thoughts.